All right, Steps. I know you're not into conspiracy theories, but I feel like even you, who is so anti-conspiracy theory, has to question a little bit the NBA lottery the other night.
I don't think it's a conspiracy.
You think it's just rigged?
Yeah.
And I think the hard part for people to understand is, like, I don't think it's rigged every year. I just think there's certain times when they go, yeah, this is what we want. You
Here's
know?
the thing. It could be the easiest process to do out in the open in front of people, and they don't do it.
No, what they do is they hire a company that will vouch for them.
Well, Barstool, Big Cat, they got invited to it.
Mhm.
So they got to actually go see how the process works for it. And there's apparently everyone's locked in a room, and
No phones.
they took your phones, all that stuff. But then there's another room. So you're not actually inside the other room where all the lottery balls are. But essentially
Uh,
it's not like you would think that, okay, for example, the top 50, what's a lottery pick? The top 15 or something like that?
14.
14. So you'd imagine there would just be like 100 balls in there, and they would play the percentages of your,
Yeah.
whatever, the Clippers, you'd have 10 balls in there. And you would do it out in the open, but they don't do it that way. They do it with numbers and like combinations, and even though you're in that room, you don't get to go in the other room where it actually happens. Dude,
You
this
don't
could
know
just be the
how weighted the balls are, you know?
would
Like, if
the
it's
NBA did get cracked for you've heard about the frozen envelope conspiracy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I don't remember what team it was. It the Cavs? Was it
The
the
Knicks.
Bulls?
It was
The
the
Knicks.
Knicks.
The
They wanted
Knicks.
Patrick Ewing to go to the Knicks because the Knicks had been terrible for years. They needed help with ratings. And so David Stern did what David Stern did, the whole frozen envelope conspiracy, which is actually ended up being true, and Patrick Ewing went to the Knicks.
So they essentially put the envelope in the freezer to make it cold. So then whenever they were doing the lottery, the cold envelope, they knew that was the Knicks. So they would, draw it that way. And then
Yeah.
that's when that went out the door. Dude, just put the lottery balls in front of us and just draw it in front of everybody.
Listen, I'm here for it. I'm all here for this corruption, this rig stuff. I'm fine. Just don't try to act like it's not. You know what I mean? Just
Exactly.
don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. But I think it's funny because if you look back in history, there's no way that certain things turn out the way that they did. Not this many times. Not this many. If you're just playing by random odds, that there's no way this stuff happens the way it happens. It's like when they sold the Hornets, right? Or the Pelicans now. But when they sold the Pelicans, and because the league owned the Pelicans up until I think 2012, it just so happened that the Pelicans got the number 1 pick that year randomly, and that turned into Anthony Davis. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I saw Bomani Jones saying, okay, for all you guys that believe in this conspiracy, tell me one good reason why the league cares if Dallas is good or not. And
It
I'm
was
like,
about Luka
great.
going to the Lakers.
It's not about Dallas. It's about, hey, Dallas, we want Luke. You guys are, you guys aren't doing anything this season. Lakers need some help. We would love to get LeBron, some playoff help and maybe have a chance at another ring because that helps us. But also, we want Luka in LA for the next 10 plus years because that will be a huge help to us. So you guys make this dumbass trade, and we'll wink, wink, nudge, nudge, take care of you down the road.
None of it made sense when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
The GM never got fired. Like,
Nico
now they
Harrison
have the number 1 pick.
or Nico Harrison.
Nico Harrison's the fall guy, man. He never sweat throughout any of this.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, the fix was in. And Patriot, I saw your ravioli comment up there. You're not making the ravioli homemade.
now, do you think? Now that's one level of conspiracy. Did you see this? Did you see this? I don't know how much of this I can actually play because it's WWE and
Oh, dude, they're bad. Don't play it.
I know. So here's Tyrese Halliburton squaring off with Jalen Brunson. Did the NBA give the WWE the script? because this is what we're about to have in the Eastern Conference Finals. So
Halliburton's
I
a
don't
big
know,
WWE
Steps. It
fan.
feels a little dirty. It
He's a
feels
big
like
fan.
people know.
That could be coincidental.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, he's a big fan, so he could have just been at that. It could have been in New York where Brunson was invited, and Halliburton was there too, and they just were like, "Oh, let's just do this." Travis Scott's in WWE.
Could have, man.
Did you
It
know
could have.
that?
But I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, I did. I'm just saying. After all this stuff, I don't know what to believe anymore. You know.
Yeah.